Greetings to each of us. I'm Larry Jr. D. Gimbarda, and for the continuation for this chapter 3, I will be the second and also the last reporter for this chapter, and my report covers topic 2 and 3. So without further ado, proceed na po tayo sa discussion proper. Alright, so our topic 2 is entitled as Performance Samples Assessment Tools. So first to discuss under this chapter is the portfolio. For sure, lahat tayo dito ay naka-experience na gumawa ng portfolio, especially back when we're elementary at high school. Di ba guys? So, for now, ano yung mga common na nilalaman ng ating mga portfolio sa pagkakaalala nyo? Ano kaya? So, that's right guys. Everything na iniisip nyo dyan ay correct as long as it is relevant to your portfolio. So, mamaya may i-share ako or may slide na ipapakita ko na kung ano yung mga considered na included sa ating mga portfolio. So to proceed with, according to its definition, it is a compilation of pieces of evidence of an individual's skills, ideas, interests, and accomplishments. To expound it more, a portfolio is a collection of materials that demonstrate an individual's knowledge, kagaya ng essay, di ba, ma-demonstrate yung ating knowledge dyan, pati yung mga tula or poem, and many more. So, also, a portfolio demonstrates skills and abilities. So, paano natin masasabing skills? So, through portfolio, we can show images as a proof of the skills or abilities that we're expert of. So, it's also demonstrate ideas. So, it may be ideas about ourselves or ideas that we knew that are worthy of sharing for. So, through portfolio, we can share our interests or hobbies also, kagaya ng mga kinahiligan natin gaya ng sports, pagiging plantita or plantito natin, or gardening. It may be about your pets, and as well as your academic interests and many more. Also, our portfolio can demonstrate our accomplishments. So through portfolio, we can provide everyone about everything that we achieve in life. It may be an academic or on sports or anything. So also, it is often used as a tool for self-reflection, professional development, and showcasing one's work to others. Next is the example. So, it can be as simple as a folder of these pieces of evidence, as fancy as a neat scrapbook containing evidence of a student's accomplishments, or as high-tech as a laser disc containing stored descriptions, written works, pictures of the student's activities, and accomplishments. So, diba sa mga samples na nasa isipan pa lang natin kanina, we're already describing what a portfolio is. So, makikita natin na a portfolio can be created in a variety of formats and can include different types of evidence depending on the purpose and audience. So, the portfolio serves the following purposes. A. The teacher can assess the growth and development of these students at various levels. B. Parents are informed of the progress of their children in school. C. Instructional supervisors are able to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the academic program. Overall, a portfolio can be a powerful tool for self-reflection, growth, and professional development. It can help individuals to document their progress over time, reflect on their strengths and areas for improvement, and demonstrate their abilities and accomplishments to others. So, what can be included inside a portfolio? So, all of this below ay pwede natin na mailagay sa ating portfolio. As we remember, some of it are mentioned earlier, di ba? So, we can see that below here, there are essay, videotapes, audio tapes, conference notes, pictures, graphs, or chart, artwork, group reports, compact disc, and field reports. So now, let's proceed to an example of a portfolio, and it's an employability portfolio. So just like a portfolio, an employability portfolio, it is a collection of documents and evidence that showcases a person's competencies, skills, and experience related to employment. So another is it is a tool used to demonstrate a potential employer that an individual has the necessary qualifications and abilities to perform a job effectively. So overall, this type of portfolio is a valuable tool for job seekers as it allows them to showcase their skills and competencies in a personalized and meaningful way. It can help to differentiate them from other candidates and demonstrate their potential value to a prospective employer. So additionally, the process of creating a portfolio can help individuals to reflect on their past experiences, assess their skills and competencies, and identify the areas for growth and development. Now let's proceed to the employability competencies portfolio. So we can say competency when we are when we say competency, ito ay ang ating kaalaman or mga abilidad or skills na kakailanganin natin na ma-possess in order for us to effectively make an portfolio or an employability portfolio that na makukonsider natin na worth it. So here it is, and it is divided into three. So first is the academic competencies, and under of these are: number 1, can understand printed materials. Number 2, can use research and library skills. Number 3, can use technology in preparing oral presentation. Number 4, can use scientific method in solving problems. Number 5, can write and speak effectively in English and Filipino. So, ang pangalawang competency nito ay ang personal management competencies. Number 1 is attend school work daily punctually. Number 2, meet school deadlines. Number 3, knows personal strength and weaknesses. Number 4, demonstrates self-control. Number 5, can follow oral and written instructions. Number 6, can work without supervision. Number 7, can learn new skills. And the last one is the teamwork competencies. So number 1 of it is can participate actively in a group. Number 2, knows and respect group values. Number 3, listens to other group members. Number 4, can express ideas to other group's members. Number 5, can be either a leader or a member of a team. Number 6, can adjust in a changing setting of and people. Now we're done with the topic 2, and so let's proceed na immediately to topic 3, which is the last one, and it is entitled as Actual Performance Assessment Tools. So actual performance assessment tools are used to evaluate students' achievements at specific places and time. So these tools provide a way to measure how well a student performs a particular task or skill in a real-world situations. For example, a teacher may use an actual performance assessment tool to evaluate how well a student can present project or solve a real-life problem. So the most common actual performance assessment tool is the performance checklist. So this tool consists of a list of behaviors that make up a certain type of performance. So an example of it will be shown later. So the performance checklist is used to determine whether or not an individual behaves in a certain way or usually desired way when asked to complete a particular task. So for example, if the task is to give a presentation, the performance checklist might be used to determine if the student is able to speak clearly and coherently, maintain eye contact, and engage to the audience. So the checklist provides a clear set of criteria that can be used to evaluate the student's performance in a standardized and objective way. So if a particular behavior is present when an individual is observed, the teacher places a check on the corresponding line of the performance checklist. So for example, if the student is able to maintain eye contact during the presentation, the teacher would place a check next to the corresponding behavior on the checklist. So the total number of checks is then tallied up to provide a score for the student's performance. So this score can be used to provide feedback to the student to identify areas for improvement and make decisions about the student's progress and future learning goals. So here's an example of it. So this sample is about the performance checklist and solving a mathematical problem. So these are the list of behaviors in this performance checklist in solving math problem. So number 1, identifies the given information. Number 2, identifies what is being asked. Number 3, uses variables to replace the unknown. Number 4, formulates the equation. Number 5, performs algebraic operations. Number 6, obtains an answer. Number 7, verifies if the answer is correct. So through this checklist, each of the behaviors of it are observed by the teacher or by evaluator. So they will just put a check mark if the behavior is present or being performed properly. So under the actual performance assessment tool is the oral questioning. So I'm sure na lahat tayo dito ay familiar sa oral questioning dahil sigurado na all of us na-experience natin ito. So it is a useful tool that assess a student's stock knowledge and communication skills. So in oral questioning, we are given enough time to memorize or familiarize a certain topic, and then after it, it's where we are assessed orally to know if we are or to know if we really internalize or retain a certain topic or discussion that is being discussed or studied. So factors such as anxiety and nervousness may affect the accuracy of the results. Consideration of students' state of mind and feelings is important to ensure accurate assessment. So naturally, there are factors that affects our level of proficiency while doing it. So most common nito is ang pagiging nervous natin, which affects us on how we dictate our answers, and minsan nga ay nagkakos pa ito ng pagkaka-mental block. So next is the observations and self-report. So both of these are useful assessment methods for recording student behaviors and activities, and a tally sheet is often used to track frequency. So a self-checklist is a list of characteristics or activities for students to mark which they possess or have engaged in for a certain period of time. Next is the observations and self-reports can be used as supplementary assessment method, a combination with oral questioning and performance tests. So, observation and self-reports are two common methods used in educational settings to gather information about student behaviors and activities. So, observation involves teacher or evaluator closely monitoring a student's actions and behaviors and recording this information using a tally sheet or other tracking method. So, this can be a useful tool for assessing student performance in areas such as classroom participation, social interactions, and task completions. And self-reports or the self-reports on the other hand involve students providing information about their own behaviors and activities. This can be done through a self-checklist where students mark off which characteristics or activities they possess or have engaged in over a certain period of time. So self-reports can provide valuable insights into a student's self-perception, motivation, and engagement in the learning process. So both observation and self-reports can be used as supplementary assessment tools. Alongside oral questioning and performance tests, combining different assessment methods can provide a more comprehensive understanding of students' abilities and progress, and can help teachers tailor their instructional approach to meet the individual's needs of each student. And now we're done with our discussion, and now it's time for our quiz. So the instruction of this quiz is, this quiz will consist of 10 multiple questions. Read each question carefully, then select the letter of the best answer and put it in a 1/4 sheet of paper. Number 1 question. What is the definition of observations in the chapter? A. It is a term used to describe the student's physical attendance in class. B. It is a tangible results that demonstrate a student's academic achievements. C. It is a test and measures of students' actual performance at specific place and time. D. It include data and information that the teacher collects from daily work with students. Now we're at the number 2. So number 2 question is, what mode of authentic assessment does a portfolio belongs? A. Authentic assessment tools. B. Observation-based assessment tools. C. Actual performance assessment tools. D. Performance samples assessment tools. Number 3. What mode of authentic assessment does an interview sheet belongs? Letter A. Authentic assessment tools. Letter B. Observation-based assessment tools. Letter C. Actual performance assessment tools. Letter D. Performance samples assessment tools. So number 4. Which of the following is not included in creating a portfolio? Letter A. A compilation of images. Letter B. Samples of individuals' work just like an artwork. Letter C. Assessment scores and standardized test results. Letter D. Reflective essays on individuals' learning and growth. Number 5. Which of the following guidelines of Diane Hart of 1994 in making an observation-based assessment is incorrect? Letter A. Observe not only one but all of the students. Letter B. Observation must be as frequent and regular as possible. Letter C. Observation should cover both routine and exceptional occurrences. Letter D. Reliability of observation records is enhanced through the use of subjective opinions rather than objective data. Number 6. What is the primary purpose of a portfolio in education? Letter A. To showcase a student's artistic skills. Letter B. To evaluate students' grades and test scores. Letter C. To provide evidence of students' growth and development over time. Letter D. To store descriptions, written works, and pictures of a student's activities and accomplishments. Number 7. So, which of the following best explains an interview sheet? Letter A. A form that students fill out to give feedback on a lesson or activity. Letter B. A list of questions that a teacher asks during students' conference. Letter C. A sheet that records students' attendance and participation in class. Letter D. A tool that measures students' knowledge and understanding of a topic. Number 8. Which of the following is the similarity between developmental checklist and the interview sheet? So A. Both tools are used to evaluate students' written work. B. Both tools require teachers to observe students' behavior. C. Both tools are used to assess students' physical abilities. Letter D. Both tools are used to track students' attendance. And number 9. How do oral questioning and observations and self-reports differ as assessment methods? A. Oral questioning assesses stock knowledge and communication skills, while observations and self-reports are used to track student behavior. B. Oral questioning requires the teacher to ask questions, while observations and self-reports require students to fill out a checklist. C. Oral questioning assesses the student's ability to communicate ideas in coherent verbal sentences, while observation and self-reports are used to tally frequency of behaviors and activities. D. Oral questioning is a one-time assessment method, while observations and self-reports are used regularly throughout the year or the school year. Number 10 in the last number. Which of the following behaviors would you choose to create a performance checklist in preparing a letter? So, we can find the behaviors under this box or inside this box. So, number 1 behavior determines the purpose of the letter. Number 2, selects an unrelated letter format and style. Number 3, identifies the recipient of the letter. Number 4, writes a clear and concise message. Number 5, reviews and revises the letter for grammar, punctuation, and spelling errors. So, letter A, 1, 2, and 3. Is it B, which has the behaviors of 1, 2, 3, and 4? Letter C, 1, 3, 4, and 5. Letter D, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And finally, we're done with our quiz. So, just pass your answers in our GC. So, thank you for your full cooperation and focus all throughout this discussion. And I hope all of you have learned a lot and enjoyed at the same time. So, thank you and God bless.